Hey guys, HDV here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some really interesting information to take a look at. Potentially the Pokemon Legends EA release date has just been leaked accidentally. We have a few other things to kind of back it up as well. We also have some Switch 2 stuff to take a look at, a lot of things to break down today. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So starting things off, let's take a look at these potential Legends EA release date leaks. I'm not convinced, but I'm bringing you guys the news regardless. So we have this from Nintendo Soup saying, rumor, Pokemon Legends EA briefly listed for August 2025 release on Amazon. So you probably saw something about this over the last couple of days, but I wanted to see kind of like all the information before I brought it to you guys, just so we have, I guess, all different sides of the story. But there is a bit of stuff to go over, and like I say, there's other things that have come out since this that kind of back this up as well. But anyway, let's take a look at this post on Nintendo Soup. So they're saying, for the past year, fans have been eagerly awaiting Pokemon news about Pokemon Legends EA, the newest upcoming mainline Pokemon game. So in the absence of official information, the game's release date may have just leaked online. So according to Pori Leaks, an Amazon listing for the game briefly listed its shipping date as August the 15th, 2025, before being changed to a placeholder date of December the 31st, 2025. So this was the original tweet from Pori Leaks saying, rumor, Pokemon Legends EA is set for release on August the 15th, 2025. It's listed on Amazon. And then a little bit later, it got updated to December the 31st. So the game has had like December the 31st or like January the 1st since it was announced, and a lot of people were thinking, oh, it was coming out on that date. That was just a placeholder. We've never really had a placeholder being this specific. It's usually at the very end of the year or the very beginning of the year when we don't know the actual release date. But to post it as the 15th of August is very, very sus, especially because games kind of coming out on Thursdays and Fridays and stuff like that. Again, the releases are in Japan on Thursdays, but because of time zones and stuff like that, it's usually Fridays for everywhere else. Because if you think about it, like, I mean, on this channel, we play Pokemon games on the Thursday. We play it on the Australian time zone, which is like 1 p.m. for me on the Thursday. But the game actually comes out on Friday. So again, there's been a lot of talk about when games actually come out, but it's all dependent on time zones and stuff. And then that said, we caution readers to take this information with a grain of salt, as it's entirely possible that both dates are placeholders and it is not indicative of when the game is actually going to release. Stay tuned for official updates as they come. So that was posted and everybody was like, oh my god, it's leaked, yada yada yada. We have Pokesutami talking about this as well, saying very likely a placeholder, but August the 15th would be a believable date. So it's right near the start of the Open National Holiday period and also during Japanese summer school holidays. So a time period that always equals good sales because all the kids are off school during the summer holidays, and it's right next to this national holiday as well. So apparently, according to somebody that, you know, knows things about Japan and everything like that, because obviously Pokesutami is the translator in the community, she knows a lot of stuff, she knows what she's talking about. She's saying that this would actually be a very, very kind of ideal date for them to drop the game, because it would be, I guess, around the summer holidays and this national holiday. On the 15th of August as well, you have to think that we usually get a Pokemon Presents around August as well. So if the game was to come out on the 15th of August, would we still get that August Presents? Would it be at the very end of the month? Or would it be like pushed back to further down the line in the year? Or do we just only get one Presents this year again, just like we got last year on Pokemon Day, which is obviously next month? So that's also something to think about, because in my opinion, I thought we were going to get the game in like June, and then we were going to get that August Presents, and then they were going to announce like a free DLC update for Legends EA for like September or October, just like we got for Pokemon Legends Arceus, and then that would tie us over to 2026's Pokemon Day, and then we'd get Generation 10 announced. But if the game comes out on the 15th of August, then I think it's unlikely we'd get a Presents that soon after it, unless we got a Presents later on down the line. But anyway, according to Pokesutami, this would be kind of an ideal date for this game to sort of drop. We also have this information as well, which we covered in the video recently regarding the new TCG set. If you haven't seen it, it's basically new trademarks for Mega Evolutions, and it kind of related to the sort of release date of Pokemon Legends EA as well. We did cover this, but obviously it goes hand in hand with what I'm talking about right now. So we have Bun here, you know, asking Osmio about these trademarks and stuff, and she says that these two sets will release simultaneously as Scarlet and Violet 11 in July 2025. So Black and White, and the new Black and White TCG set is on June the 6th. So yes, it's after that. So this Mega Evolution set is after June the 6th. So it's very unlikely that Legends EA comes out before June the 6th. Because the way that these TCG sets kind of relate with the main series games, you know, that it basically can't come out before June, according to this. Starbirth Pokemon Legends Arceus' first set released 2 weeks prior to the game, so I'd say a 2-week window. So when this set comes out, Osmio is basically saying it's a 2-week window until the game comes out. Before and after the set is when ZA will release. So Osmio is expecting the release date of this set to be the 18th of July for the set. So that would mean that the game would have to be out 2 weeks before the July the 18th or 2 weeks after July the 18th. So the game would be very late June, because obviously that's 2 weeks before, or very early August in this case, because that's 2 weeks after. So May is probably out of the question. June would also feel early, but it could work, and then August may be possible, but before Worlds for sure. So obviously, I mean, August 15th isn't early August, it's the middle of August, but maybe they push it back to 3 weeks or something like that. So the way it all goes is basically this placeholder date is very, very close to when the game would actually be coming out based on this TCG set, which is why I'm saying, like, it all kind of links together. And even though a lot of us thought, because when I first saw that, I was like, it's just a placeholder, whatever. But now all this stuff's come out, it's kind of like, well, hang on a minute. It's actually relating to all these things, and it's all lining up very, very nicely, because it's literally this placeholder date is 1 week off what the usual pattern is. And I just, maybe that the way that they've been with promotion for this game, maybe they do change the pattern as well, and maybe it does come out 3 weeks after the TCG set instead, because it's so close. It's very, very interesting. We have Centro talking about this as well, saying Pokemon Legends EA was briefly dated with a release date of August 15th, 2025 on Amazon UK. However, we believe it was just an error, already changed back. Also, current Nintendo releases are on Thursdays. Again, it's time zones and stuff like that for the Thursdays and the Fridays and stuff. So I don't really believe that. We have someone here as well saying, you know, Nintendo releases Thursdays, Game Freak releases Fridays. Incorrect. Nintendo changed that last year, which they did. But I mean, at the same time, in regards to time zones and stuff, like Pokemon hasn't had a release on a Thursday yet, apart from in like Japan. That would mean that the game would have to release on like a Wednesday in Japan for it to release Thursday, kind of like everywhere else. It just doesn't really make, like, releasing a game on the Wednesday just doesn't really make too much sense. Friday is usually the good day because obviously you can play it on the weekend and stuff like that. It is very, very interesting. And obviously that they say, and Osmio is saying that, you know, August may be possible, but before Worlds for sure. And Worlds takes place from the 15th to the 17th of August. And there's no way they're going to drop the game the same weekend as Worlds. So that's another thing to kind of like take into consideration. Like I'm not convinced. I think it is just a placeholder, but I think it's very interesting that all these other things are kind of like shaking up to it. But yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm pretty sure 15th to 17th is Worlds 2025, and I don't know if that would be the best time to release the game. Anyway, though, that's all the Legends EA sort of release date stuff. Let me know your thoughts on it. Are you convinced? Do you think it's just a placeholder? Again, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it gets revealed soon, but it's just very, very interesting regardless. Moving on, we have some more Nintendo Switch 2 console image leaks to go over. We have this post here from Nintendo Live saying, rumor, new Nintendo Switch 2 leaks suggest console require a 60 watts charger. The OG dock Switch dock requires 39 watts, so it's nearly double that according to this leak. So another Switch 2 leak. This one comes from respected accessibility / cultural consultant Laura Kate Dale. She has covered quite a bit of stuff recently, and she's a very legitimate source as well, and this is coming from her. The actual image is coming from her as well, who has posted what looks to be a fresh image of the upcoming successor dock. So Dale states that the image was from a trusted source, and although it doesn't show a great deal in terms of the actual design of the dock, it does include some information on the input and the output voltage. So visible on the dock itself, the text states that the input voltage is 20V, while the output voltage is 15V. So by comparison, the Switch OLED dock states that both the input and the output is 15V. So already the input is higher than that. In addition, Dale says that the new console will likely ship with a 60 watts charger. This is a significant leap over the requirements of the current Nintendo Switch dock, which accepts chargers of 39 watts. So the clear implication with that is that the original Switch charger probably won't be compatible with the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2, and this information also corroborates with what Reddit user Next Handheld told The Verge a few weeks back. So this is the image here. So this is a new photo I've received from a trusted source showing a Switch 2 dock featuring visible input and output voltage information, other information obscured. In addition, I have learned that the Switch 2 ships with a 60 watts charger for use with the dock. So your old Nintendo Switch charger will not work with the Switch 2, but you'll get the Switch 2 charger with the new console anyway. But it's not clear at this time why the input voltage is higher with the upcoming successor, but our theory is that it may be to account for additional accessories plugged into the alleged additional USB slot on the top. We can't say for sure until Nintendo itself reveals more information. And then, not the most butt-clenchingly exciting leak in the world, we know, but it's a bit more information to chew on while we await the official reveal of Nintendo. And then we also have kind of Nintendo Prime talking about this as well, saying another day, more Nintendo Switch 2 leaks. This is the dock as a picture from Laura and her trusted source. Big deal here is this confirms 60 watts going into the dock, meaning the system comes with a 60 watts charger. This would make the old docks incompatible for an output to a TV. Obviously, we've just said that. Why? Because they take in 39 watts. This all matters because this image backs up the image posted by Next Handheld, who said 60 watts in, 45 watts out to the system. So meaning in docked mode, the Switch 2 uses a hell of a lot more power than the Switch. Xbox Series S uses 75 watts max as an under TV console. So for comparison, the Switch uses a max of 18 watts in docked mode, 16 at launch, but they added new power profiles over time. So yeah, going from 18 to 60 is a ridiculous boost. This console is going to be pretty dang powerful. So that's that about the new images. I also wanted to go over this from Necro as well, saying good morning, and I can say that for the first time I got access to the Switch 2 logo thanks to a photo of the console that a reliable source sent me. So based on what I saw, I'm respecting the measurements, I recreated it, and this will be the Switch 2 logo. We also have Pyoro as well replying to this as well here with like a winky face. Whenever Pyoro replies, you kind of take it as legit because he's such a trusted source. And he says, okay, this is the first Switch 2 link I can fully trust because of your track record. No, I talked about the logo 2 weeks ago, and recently I got something to back it up even more. So what you're looking at right now is this is the logo for the Switch 2, basically confirmed now. This is exactly what we're going to be seeing, and I think this is all it needs to be as well. The 2 is there to show that it is the kind of next, I guess, step in the Switch's life cycle. And they don't need to call it anything crazy different as well, because the Switch is just already gonna, the Switch 2 is already gonna sell so much. So all you need to do is pop a 2 on it, and then yeah, we now know that this is the next kind of step in the sort of timeline. So that's that. I also wanted to go over this as well. This is from Nintendo Talk saying, source, the Switch 2 battery in line, sometimes worse than the battery of the Switch consoles with a serial number that starts with XA. Depends greatly on the software. This is coming from a major third-party developer contact that I have. So obviously the Switch 2 is drawing more power than the Switch 1. It just adds more kind of legitimacy to what Laura was saying there with the battery and the charger and stuff. And then also finishing things off, I wanted to go over this. This has been making the rounds a little bit about what Digital Foundry have said. So they believe, this is basically what they've been saying about the Switch 2 regarding all the leaks, everything like that. So they said that they believe the most probable thing is that the Nintendo Switch 2 will use the Samsung 8 NM node, as we have speculated here in this account, with serious implications for either performance or battery life, especially when the battery compartment looks much smaller than the Steam Deck's. Contrary to some speculations, the raw performance won't be nowhere near PS4 Pro level. Expect raw performance similar to Xbox One/PS4. This is seemingly just kind of taking shots at the Switch 2. I don't know why. They're just kind of getting all the bad information and just laying it out. However, modern tech that also the other consoles lack, like DLSS, will help close the gap to current gen consoles. So expect ports of current gen games running at 30 frames per second. So that might seem quite bad for a lot of people, but 30 FPS isn't terrible. It's just that, Scarlet Violet was in 30 FPS, but it just couldn't handle it because the console just wasn't like up to standard. If you've played like Scarlet and Violet on your PC on like a ROM or something, it runs fine in 30 FPS. Like, that's not the issue. It's the console itself couldn't deal with it. It doesn't need to be 60 FPS at all. It's just kind of a thing that's been spoken about a lot, that, oh, it's 30 FPS, is yada yada yada. That's not the issue. It's the fact that the console itself just wasn't strong enough to be able to deal with everything for it to run in 30 FPS. I mean, when you go into the water in Scarlet and Violet, it runs at like 7 frames per second. It's absolutely abysmal. But 30 FPS is absolutely fine as long as the console can handle it. And this console will be able to handle it. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fine. Don't get worried about the 30 FPS. It's absolutely not an issue at all. While the news of a Samsung chip does put the Switch 2 at an efficiency disadvantage up against the Steam Deck and the vast array of Windows PC handhelds out there, thanks to optimization for a fixed console specs will be secret sauce for success. So it's kind of like good and bad things to kind of take away from this. You can read the whole thing here at Eurogamer. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just wanted to kind of cover that because I've seen a lot of people talk about this 30 FPS thing, and I think they're just not really sure what they're kind of properly talking about and stuff like that. Not that I'm saying I am, I just know that, you know, 30 FPS isn't the end of the world, which a lot of people have apparently been saying it is. But anyway, that's all that. This is the new Switch 2 dock kind of charger thing. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts on all the Switch, the Legends EA release date leaks as well. Do you think that it's going to be coming out on the 15th of August, or do you think it is just a placeholder at the end of the day? But let me know your thoughts on it all. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500. It really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. You guys know the jazz by now, the gist of it all. But thank you for taking a look at the video, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good rest of your day, and peace.